In this video, I wanted to show you how to use Eclipse's built-in debugger tool. This is a pretty handy tool now that we're learning about looping and we want to be able to trace what's happening in our more complicated programs. One method, as I mentioned in the previous video, is using a manual trace table where you write down the values of the variables as they go throughout the program in a table. This one's, I find, a lot more handy because the computer does all the hard work for you. What I want to do here is use this greatest common divisor program, which involves a loop, and I just want to watch what happens to the variables as the program executes. And you can also see how if statements and other parts of your program are working in this debugger. So this is a relatively simple one, but let's just double click in the margin here. It puts a dot there. That means it's going to stop at this point and wait. So I don't need it to wait any earlier. This is what I want to look at as the loop. So instead of hitting the run button, I actually go to the menu and say debug. It asks me for my numbers. I'll just enter 24 and 56. Now it switches the perspective and it shows me my variables in this panel here. My variables are A, B, R, and of course the scanner for input. And now, so I've gotten A and I've gotten B, and it shows their values there. Now it hasn't executed this to see if B is greater than 0. It clearly is, but let's hit this button here that says step into. You can also hit F5 on your keyboard. It's actually a little easier. So I press it, it steps into my program. I can see that now R is about to be calculated. It's gone into the loop, I can tell that. So it's past the B greater than 0 stage. And we can predict what's going to happen here. A mod B, so A is 24. If I mod that by 56, 56 goes in 0 times, leaving 24 as the remainder. So I'll check that. There you go. It highlights it. 24 is the value getting assigned to R. And now it's just going to switch. It's going to store B into A, which we can watch happen there. Yep, B went up to there. 56 is now the value for A. And now it's going to do R, it's going to move that into B. So it's kind of swapped those two values around. And then it goes back up. And B is greater than 0. That's true. 24 is greater than 0. Goes in, does A mod B. So A is 56. Mod B. So it's going to find out that 24 goes in there 2 times. And the leftover is 8. So 8 is what R gets assigned. And now it's going to swap those around, make B become 8, and go back up. B is still greater than 0, so it's going to go into the loop. And it's going to do A mod B. 8 goes into 24 evenly, and 0 is the remainder. And then it's going to set A to the remainder, which is 8, or B, which is 8, and now the remainder goes into B, which is 0, and now that's going to stop the loop there. So you can kind of see it should exit out, and it should print the greatest common divisor is A. And if you want to get back to your other view up in the top right corner, you can click the Java perspective, and it goes back to looking the way it did before.